Hello and welcome back to the Novice Lumberjack, where I am here with the Proyama PCS68. I have been excited about these chainsaws as soon as I saw them on Amazon. They get good reviews and it's supposedly 68 cc's. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into this, show you what you get in the package, and tell you a little bit about the saw, things of that nature. All right, so first up, what you get with the saw is a lot. It's got a bit of a hefty price tag for one of these Zenoah clones as it is, but you do get extras. Okay, first up, let's just, and you know me, if you watch this channel, I'm blatantly honest. So you get a shield or visor, right? So that you can wear instead of safety goggles. Well, mine came, it was broke. So, gotta say, right off the bat, that's useless. You also get a pair of earmuffs, which, not useless. These things actually will work and deaden the sound. So if you don't already have earmuffs, it comes with a pair. These are not useless, but let's set them off to the side. A little fuel mixing bottle, canister, whatever. To me, these are also useless. I don't want to knock the company for adding in all these little things because they probably cost them just pennies to manufacture. And so why not just throw them in? Especially because there are people out there that little mixing bottle might be useful, right? It's got numbers on the side so you can get your mixture right and everything. I've been doing this for a long time. I use a big 2.5 gallon to 5 gallon container to mix my fuel. So, but of course there's the manual, which to some people that might be useful. Little gloves, which, you know, hey, they fit? No, do they? They're pretty small. Maybe my wife can get some use out of them gardening. Little toolkit. This is very useful to the beginners out there because you don't have the tools. Comes with a file to sharpen your chain. And it comes with pretty much all the tools that you might need to do basic maintenance on this here saw. All right. And very oddly, it comes with a little cardboard gasket. Now, it's nothing but cardboard. I want to show you. This right here, you put it on. Let's take the clutch cover off. It's designed to go right here between your chainsaw bar and the saw itself to work as a gasket of sorts to keep bar oil from leaking all over the place. Again, I understand this effort because there's a lot of people that don't understand chainsaws that will be buying something like this. However, this is just cardboard. It's going to get soaked immediately with first use. And I am going to call this useless as well. So if you got one of these saws and you have thoughts of this thing stopping your oil leak, I don't think it's going to. Chainsaws leak bar oil. Now, some do it less than others for sure. However, you're not going to be able to stop it really. So I'll put that off to the side. It also comes with a set of dogs, right? That's what I call these. Log dogs, or some people might call them spikes. Now, whenever you're installing this, it's very simple. Make sure that the spikes are pointing at an upward angle. All right, you got your 2 screws. We're going to put 1 screw in here just to hold things in place just a little bit. And then I highly recommend you using a small amount of Loctite because you don't want to over tighten and stuff, and these things quite often have a tendency to loosen up and back out on you. Now, you do have a tool that comes with the kit that you can use, And we get this just a little bit snug right now. Take the other one out, put some Loctite on it, or I should say thread sealer or something, thread locker. Loctite's a name brand. All right, now that you've got them both in place, give them a nice little snug. You don't have to do anything crazy. You've got that thread locker on there and it'll dry up and those things will stay put. All right, moving on. What else does it come with? Well, it comes with 2 bar and chain setups. Now this one right here is a 24-inch, 84 drive length, 3/8 bar. All right, that's very important there, the 3/8 thing, because these things, these Zenoah clones, they always come with 325 chains. Well, this one comes with 3/8. Maybe that's a benefit, maybe not so much. Who knows, right? This one, it's labeled as a 20-inch bar, but in fact, it's actually, in reality, it is an 18-inch bar. How do I know that? Because the chain that comes for it is 68 drive lengths. That is a 18-inch 3/8 bar. All right. The chains are your very typical made in China chains. It's got that little curly-Q little design, so I would say they're probably like tri-link chains. Decent chains, shouldn't be any issue, especially for somebody who's just wanting to buy something like this to go out and do some cutting in their yard or something like that. The chain also appears to be full chisel, non-safety. Let's just take one out so that we can see for sure. Yes, these are indeed full chisel, non-safety chains. All right, so that should do all right. All right. Ooh, move my little table. Next up, this little screw / nut type thing is kind of difficult to get in the hole. I think maybe it's cross-threaded or something, but we'll address that later. What we noticed whenever we first opened this thing up is it has a different, I would call it a high flow air filter. Most of these clone saws, these Zenoah clones, the 5200, the 5800, the 6200, are going to come with a smaller and probably inferior air filter. This thing comes with a decent air filter. All right, next thing up we see that it has torque screws holding the top cover down. Top cover off, out of the way. Now, first thing that I am noticing right off the jump here is that spark plug. And I'm excited. Why am I excited? Is it because it's a Champion spark plug? No, it's because these Zenoah clones, these 5200, 5800, 6200, they all have the spark plug coming out nearly horizontal. This one is vertical. What that tells me is this has a different cylinder setup. We're going to use the supplied spark plug wrench. And now it's time to remove that muffler. Okay, the muffler right off the get-go, it is a wide open muffler. There is no internal baffling in there. It goes straight out those two holes. Fantastic. So no need for a muffler mod for this thing really at all, unless you want to go even bigger. You know, if you're wanting ultimate performance. All right, it is a dual ring piston. Ooh, and it is ceramic coated. That's not exactly a huge benefit, but it is nice. I can't see in there. So what we're going to have to use is our scope. I've got a bore scope, and I will look down in there and see if it's closed port or if it's open port. Let's get to the heart of the matter here, and let's measure the displacement. All right. Now it is, well, I'm going to go ahead and fire this thing up. There's our bottom dead center. We're going to 0. And now we're just going to raise it all the way up, holding this thing in place. And that'll show us what our stroke is. Ha! 35.64 on the stroke. This is an imperfect way of measuring, I know that, but it's pretty darn good. I would say that might have a 36 millimeter stroke, maybe. Definitely 35 and a half. Definitely 35 and a half. So let's write that down. 35.64 millimeter on the stroke. Now let's check out the bore. The way that we do the bore, very similar. We're going to go like this. We're going to touch it right onto the front of the piston. Zero out. Rotate that piston down so that we got a clear path all the way to the back of the cylinder. .43. All right, so now I'm going to shut off the camera because I can't use the bore scope while I'm recording with my phone. And I'll do some calculations, tell you what the actual CC range is. It's up there. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I did use the bore scope, and it looks like it's going to be a quad open port cylinder. It does not look like it's closed port at all. And I did the measurements and calculated them with my bore of 46.43 and stroke of 35.64 millimeter. That gives me, if you use those perfect measurements right there, they're not perfect, they're very imperfect, but if you use the numbers that I actually got, it's 60.343 cc's. If you allow for tolerances and stuff and you go, well, benefit of the doubt, they were probably aiming at a 36 millimeter stroke with a 47 millimeter bore. If you look at it that way, then it's still 62.458 cc's. So my guess is, or not my guess, my reality is this is nowhere near 68 cc's. Again, we've come to realize this with all of the Chinese Zenoah clones. The companies like to hype them that they have more displacement than they actually do. However, I will say this is by far the biggest clone saw that I have actually messed with. The Zenoah clones, the Zenoah clones, and this is the small one. This is not the clone of the Red Max 6200. All right, this is the Zenoah 5200, and they have increased the displacement. So what I'm seeing is I'm going to go ahead and call this a true 62 cc's, or close, right? The other ones, the 6200s that you find, they're only 58 cc's. The 5800s that you find, they're only 54 cc's. You know, so this is very known and at this point documented by myself and other people as well. But I'm happy it's an actual 62 cc saw. So is it the 68? No. Clearly it is not 68 cc's. There's no bones about that. That is a lie. It's not. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to test it out and see how it performs. A 60 cc saw that is running good should be able to pull a 24-inch bar with 3/8 chain. You know, it should be able to pull that. So we're going to go ahead and put this back together, and the next time you'll see it, we'll be firing up and putting it in the wood. All right.